And welcome back to iHeartRadio's Holiday Talk program. I'm Reed Shepard along with Dana McKay. Jason Behringer is our producer. Well, with the new year, we make resolutions. We're going to stop smoking. We're going to handle our money better. And we're also going to get in shape, and we're going to stay in shape. And that's what we're talking about. We welcome clinical nutritionist James LaValle to the program today. James, why is it, I guess we'll start off with, why is it that people always want to get in shape, but by the end of January or into February, we're not going to the gym anymore?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. I think, first of all, maybe people bite off a bigger piece of that fitness desire than they can chew. So, you overcommit, you're having to go every day, and it's really more about creating consistent habit. I think that's really important. The other one is people get sore. You're over 40 years old, and you start training, and you go, you know what, I can't get out of the chair. Maybe I'll hold this off till next year, right? So I think it's important for people to look at how they can perform better, how they can, get better results.
What are the best type of fitness programs for people to do? I mean, I went all in, and I'm kind of lazy. I didn't do anything, and I started doing CrossFit a couple of months ago. Well, and I really enjoyed it, but I had a coach who I know, she's a friend, so I kind of said, hey, there's certain exercises I'm not going to be able to do. Go easy on me a little bit. And she really helped me to be consistent. But I'm wondering for people that, need some motivation, what's the best type of exercise program that's going to be manageable, that's not going to leave you completely sore and stuck in a chair and giving up so fast?
Yeah, I think obviously as the chief science officer for Lifetime, and we've got 2.5 million members, we have to always be looking at the variety of people that are coming in. And so everything from, strength training is important. Resistance training is going to help people to maintain muscle, build muscle, help to burn calories. But then also, think about what's called zone 2 cardio, where you can't carry on a conversation, but you could say a few sentences while you're on that treadmill or on a bike. I think those are just important components. Obviously, flexibility is important, trying to get someone to make sure that you're stretching before you work out, get on the foam roller, maybe use a massage gun. That's important. And then once you get over the age of 40, doing a few nutrients that might help you to reduce that soreness could be important as well.
Well, Dana says she did CrossFit. James, I'm one of those people who did weights and strength training, but I've kind of gotten away from it. So somebody like me who has kind of gotten away from the fitness thing, what's the best way to get back into it safely?
Well, depending on how old you are, I'd always say, get someone to help you. Like, you go to your friend that was, a trainer. That's great because they can help guide you, especially if they're listening to you. I think, aged garlic extract, for example, Kyolic, good study that came out by Dr. Karen Reed showing that when you took aged garlic, you're over the age of 40, you're going to reduce the amount of what's called DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. You're going to perform better. You're going to oxygenate your tissues better. But I always tell people, get started, start walking. If you haven't been doing anything, start with walking, something simple. Something that will at least get you motivated, and don't try to start training for an hour a day right away. Make realistic goals. I tell people, hey, look, 20 minutes is better than no minutes. Mm-hmm. And, there's no weighted gyroscopic TV channel changers yet that I've seen where you can sit and watch TV and exercise at the same time, right? So, you have to get up. You've got to start moving a little bit, but create a goal that's realistic for you. And probably one of the biggest things, it's time. Time for people to go, oh, I don't have time. Well, do you have 15 minutes? Do you have 10 minutes? Because when people start exercising, they tend to, if they can start at a reasonable amount, they'll increase that time. And then when people are on weight loss programs, real popular right now is like the drugs like the GLP-1s that are out there, the Ozempics of the world. People are actually 2 times more likely to join a gym and start to work out if they start to see some results. So combining exercise with diet, using a compound, aged garlic extract like Kyolic, probiotics, another big one that can be helpful. You're going to reduce your soreness, improve the way you feel, but you got to think about lifestyle. If you really want to get results in the gym, you want to think about getting better sleep, making sure you're getting, improvements on the way you're selecting the foods that you're eating, all of those things play a role.
So you mentioned probiotics. I am addicted to kombucha. So is that good? Is that actually good for me? Is that helping me?
It depends. There's some kombucha is great. Some is pretty high in sugar, so you got to watch the sugar because it kind of feeds the bad bugs. I really like when people just take a probiotic. There was a study that was in Frontiers in Physiology that showed that strains of probiotics can influence muscle recovery and help to balance out inflammation that goes on in the muscle. And you don't always get those probiotics in, say, drinking kombucha or eating sauerkraut, which are good habits. Now, nothing wrong with doing that. But maybe, you're not maybe getting the specific effect of reducing that inflammation, improving recovery, if you're not taking, appropriate probiotics. So it's a little bit different. But it's, once again, good lifestyle choice. Better drinking kombucha than it is drinking, a Coca-Cola.
Right. That's what I tell myself.
Or Mountain Dew in my case.
Come on.
Yeah, we're talking to clinical nutritionist James LaValle. So how can maintaining your immune system, a strong immune system, what role does that play?
Well, it's actually incredibly important. And in fact, when people go in and they start to train and then maybe they overtrain, one of the first signs is your immune system breaks down. You actually get more prone to colds and flu. It's really important that it's not how hard you train, it's how well you recover. Your immune system plays a key role in that. Especially you look at people that are maybe more advanced, endurance athletes, people that have run. For example, there was a study using a plant sterol in Sterilant called Moducare, where they gave marathon runners that before and after their event, and they weren't prone to getting the upper respiratory tract infections that they were getting beforehand, and it allowed them to recover and start training again more quickly. Your immune system is more than you catching a cold or flu. It's regulating that inflammatory response in your body. It's called metabolic inflammation or meta-inflammation. And that's what you're trying to manage. That's why hydration is important. That's why the sleep part's important. And, the other tricks, get the massage roller out. You can buy a foam roller pretty cheap these days. If you can get a massage gun, get one of those. They're everywhere now. Those are all really good things to do if you're going to embrace, I want to start to get fit in the new year.
What do you think about, and this is kind of my advice that I've passed on to friends or other people about being consistent. And a lot of times I think what happens is when you start working out, you get busy and you miss a whole week. And then you're like, well, screw it. I messed up. I'm done.
Yeah.
So it's, and then I had to tell myself I missed a week, but I can get back to it in a couple of days to do that instead of just saying, forget it.
Well, no, I think you're exactly right on. That's why I encourage people, hey, don't think you have to go do something every day to start. Pick every other day. Or if you want to follow, like even the American Heart Association guidelines, 30 minutes of aerobic exercise 6 days a week. Take a walk. It's going to reduce your risk of, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. But yes, 2 days a week or 3 days a week is better than no days a week. If you're off a week, yes, stay committed that, hey, I know I got really busy, but I do have this time. And the other one is schedule it. It's so important to try to schedule your time. And then also, what's my strategy if I miss my time? I know I'm 64. I trained, and I was a very competitive athlete when I was young. And I've had to train differently as I've aged, right? And that's the other piece to it. When you're 60, don't get a 20-year-old trainer who doesn't understand that you're 60. Try to get experienced with people at their stage of life so that you're easing into your workout as well. So that's really good advice that you're giving. Just get back on the horse, create consistency. And honestly, when people start to move and they start to eat better, just like it, with Lifetime, Healthy Way of Life Company, we believe that, if you feel better, all other things in your life work out better, whether it's being a better mom or dad or spouse or member of the community at work. It really does make a difference and trickle down into all aspects of your health.
All right, some great tips on getting in shape and staying in shape with clinical nutritionist James LaValle. James, thank you so much for joining us today, and a Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, and thanks for having me.